Remember, athletes, it's about consistency first, then intensity. Transformation is about changing who we are through our habits. Your path to success, it's a journey. You are unstoppable. You are an athlete. Every day that we wake up able to enjoy the day with the health that we have is a gift. You know, the goal is to become 1% better every single day. Your workout is done and your results are there. Unleash that unstoppable force within you.
What's up, athletes? Welcome back. Today we're crushing the legs and lower body in just 9 minutes. And this is the workout that you're going to want to save and keep in your library to come back to repeat again, because this workout is gold. It's going to do two things today. Number one, it's going to increase your strength, increase your lean body mass, which is what we want to do, because as we have more muscle in the body, we have more active tissue, we increase our metabolic rate at rest. All right. Nerd alert. But what it really means is when we do these types of workouts, we are able to raise our metabolism. We're going to have a faster metabolism, meaning we can burn more calories simply by just sitting on the couch. Who doesn't want that? All right. And the second thing we're going to do today is we're going to work cardio. So in just 9 minutes, our cardio is done. And the other great thing about that is we're going to keep our metabolism up for up to 48 hours after this workout. Now, I don't recommend that we use that extra caloric gain to eat more food, but instead to maybe just keep our food intake the exact same as it usually is and just try to continue to stay more active by getting more steps in. All right, enough of that science stuff. Now let's get into it. Today we're working for the 9 minutes, working for 45 seconds, resting for 15 seconds, and all you need to follow along is just your mat. Now, I recommend to always have a chair or a couch to maybe modify the squats that you're going to see coming up, and that's completely up to you. I like to use that option if I have any knee issues, which come up from time to time. And then the other thing you're gonna need is just to be close by to a wall, because we're gonna throw in some wall sits in there. All right, athletes, now let's get started. Our first movement today is our basic air squat. And now let's just set up the squat so that we want to make sure we're doing it efficiently, getting the most out of it, and then protecting the knees at all times. So you're going to just take a couple steps here with me. So stand up, take a couple steps here with me. And then make sure that your feet land just outside the shoulders. You're going to point the toes out slightly, maybe less than 45 degrees. And then I want you just to place your hands here on your glutes and then push the knees out and then start to feel your glutes activated. So this is the position that we want to engage in and hold every time we're doing a squat, even when it is a squat jump. So drive the knees out, and then here, imagine there's that chair behind you, which again is a great idea to place that chair or be in front of that couch so that you have that cue. You're going to drive the hips back, come all the way down, and then come up. Squeeze the glutes in the top position. A common fault I see in the squat is this, not coming all the way up and keeping the bum out, but the last movement of the glutes is really that full extension. So make sure you squeeze the glutes, stand up completely straight, and then also just learning to move the joints a little bit more in their regular and normal range of motion is going to help as well keep those joints healthy over time. All right, Sherry, enough chatter. Let's get started. I know you're anxious, so am I. All right, 45 seconds. Are you ready? So when you want to know what's coming up next, check this box above and you'll have an idea to keep along, but we have that 15 seconds where I'll show you some modifications also if needed. Are you ready, athletes? In 3, 2, 1, and here it is. All right, drive the knees out, come all the way down, and then this is now a good movement also to use kind of as a warm-up to get you started in today's workout. And so just push the knees out, really making sure you're not lifting up the heels. If you're lifting up the heels, it means you're not driving back the hips to initiate the movements. So knees out, go all the way down. Really continue to engage those glutes and just make sure you breathe on every single rep. I generally like to exhale on the effort. So inhale down, exhale up, but it doesn't really matter as long as you keep that oxygen flow steady. And in 3, 2, 1. All right, now take a little break. So next up, we're gonna have our squat jump out. And now I'll give you the option today, if you'd like, to just take a step. All right, so just follow along that way with me, and then let's go. So important that you're always honoring the body. You're always doing what you feel is right for your body. Even when you're following my workouts for a while, I've had to modify so many times in my life. I've been injured so many times. As you know, life happens. And so instead of feeling frustrated and feeling defeated, it's just more kind to modify, adapt, and then let yourself build back up, because it'll always happen, especially if you do it with love. All right, speaking of love, I'm so happy. Whew, that's over. All right, shake it out. Come onto the wall now, and we're gonna just get nice and comfortable on the wall. We're gonna slide all the way down, and then place the back against the wall, drive the knees out, and then you wanna have the hips level with the knees. So I'm already feeling this big time, and we've just gotten started, but let's take our mind off of this together. So just drive the breath to the legs and take your mind off of that burn, that discomfort, and instead let's go somewhere where it's more pleasurable. And the pleasure that I always like to go to when I'm feeling this, when I'm experiencing this fake pain, is how great I'm gonna feel when I'm done, and how this is only 9 minutes of my day. 3, 2, 1, whew, and rest. All right. Oh man, okay. We're gonna do now a skater squat with a lift off. So the skater squat is gonna require us to go nice and wide. We're gonna drive that hip back, and then we're gonna stand, but now we're gonna actually lift up that leg. So come all the way down with the body weight, lift up the knee, and then if you're finding this is a little bit uncomfortable on your knee, by the way, or you're needing to modify, don't lift up. Just always be mindful of how things feel for you. Remember, again, without forcing it. So come all the way down, and really just creating some power with that lift off. That's it. Follow the breath, linking it with the movement. That's it. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, shake it off. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Prepare yourselves. Let's go nice and wide. Again, the key is drive the hips back. So hip back and then up. That's it. And then get into that flow where you're really feeling all the weight come onto the leg, and then you're pushing it off. That's it. Remember, again, have that option to keep the foot down without lifting off. If you're feeling that the knee doesn't like it, if it's a bit wobbly, just keeping in mind though, whatever you do on one side of the body, do the same thing on the other side to create balance and strength and power, and then avoid any injuries that could result from strength imbalances. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So good. This is so pleasurable. All right, let's get into our wall sit again. Drive the knees out. Here it is in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we are on a minute 6. That's intense. And as intense as it feels in my legs, what's so cool about this is how fast this is going, and how I know that this is serving me so much, and that it's so much easier not to do it. And that's what we generally do. We focus on the pain that's happening right now, and that's what prevents us from wanting to show up to our workouts. But instead, if we focus on a different pain, which is the pain of not engaging in self-care, the pain of not committing to ourselves, and what would that look like in a year or 3 years or 5 years if we don't commit to ourselves? Break. And so next up is our buckle unders, and I'm gonna come back to that thought in just a moment. So come on to the floor, you're gonna bend the knees, and then you're gonna come all the way up. Now, option always If you wanted to, you can come onto a couch or an elevated surface and follow along here. But essentially what I was saying earlier, and I would like for you to keep in mind, is that human behavior, as we make any decision in life, we always try subconsciously or unconsciously to move away from pain and move towards pleasure. And so when we focus on a pain, such as the pain of a workout, it tends to deter us. It tends to turn us off from it. Instead, we want to shift that focus of pain onto what would it look like to continue to live a lifestyle break without movement, without activity, without really focusing on our self-care. All right, now, next up, we're going to do a heel lift sumo squat. So don't get too wide if you notice that your knees are collapsing. So you still want to stay in control. Come up onto the feet, heels up, and then go all the way down. So you're going to notice that a lot of now the tension is more on the vastus medialis oblique muscle. So just one of the inner muscles near the knee, one of the quadricep muscles, which is responsible for knee stability, especially if you've had a knee injury. That's one of the first muscles that atrophy and create instability. So keep those heels up. Don't worry about how high the heels are. Just want you to feel just that little bit of movement and just really activating the proprioception. All right, maybe one more. I know we're a little over time, but every little rep counts and is placed in that health and fitness bank account. All right, our last set now of wall sits. 3, 2, 1. Okay, push the knees out. Deep breath in. And now we're able to reassign a pain point. So the pain point is no longer the suffering that goes on in these 9 minutes, but the pain is what would happen if I don't do this? What would happen with my body, with my health, with my life, with the impact I have on my kids, with me being a role model if I don't do this? And so the pleasure now can be turned, and instead of the pleasure being not doing the activity or just lying down on the couch or watching TV, the pleasure now is how amazing I'm going to feel afterwards, how strong my body will be, how healthy I'll become, and how much that's going to impact the quality of my life. And break. So athletes, I hope that you've enjoyed this workout. Remember that you have this opportunity to repeat it one more time. Remember, this is a great one to come back to for just 9 minutes to work those legs. You're really gonna see mad results if you stay consistent. So make sure that you do that. Comment below, how did this go for you today? Was it easy? Did you like it? Did you want to see more like this? This helps me create that content that you want to see. And then if you've liked it, give me a thumbs up. And then remember also to subscribe so that we keep training together. All right, let's go refuel, rehydrate, and meet up in the next one. You got this.